Cirebon is a port city on the north coast of the Indonesian island of Java. It is located in the province of West Java near the provincial border with central Java, approximately 297 kilometers east of Jakarta, at 6.717 degrees south, 108.567 degrees east, minus 6.717, 108.567. The urban core of Cirebon is very small in extent, however, its dense suburbs sprawl into the surrounding regency. The official metropolitan area encompasses this regency as well as the city, and covers an area of 1,021.88 square kilometers, with a 2010 census population of 2,366,340. The seat of a former sultanate. The city's west and central Java border location have seen its history influenced by both Sundanese and Javanese culture as well as Chinese. Etymology. Being on the border of Sunda and Jawa, many of Cirebon's residents speak a dialect that is a mix of Sundanese and Javanese. It is thought that the word Cirebon derives from the Javanese word Cirebon, meaning mixed, a reference to the city's mix of Sundanese, Javanese, Chinese, and Arabic cultural elements. Alternatively, it could be derived from the Sundanese words of sea and rebone. Aside from fishery, its harbour, Tanjung Emas, on the Java Sea has been a major hub for timber from Borneo. A small landing site, Pengung, also serves the TNIO. The city lies on Jalur Pantura, a major road on the northern coast of Java that stretches from Enia, passes through Jakarta, and ends at Cirebon. History. According to the manuscript Purwaka Cirebon Nagari, in the 15th century Cirebon started as a small fishing village named Muarajati. At the time the port of Muarajati already attracted foreign traders. The port master at the time was Ki Gedeng Alang Alang, who was appointed by the king of Galuh Kingdom, located inland in Kuala Siamis. Ki Gedeng Alang Alang moved the port to Lemawungkuk, 5 kilometers southward. Is the new settlement leader. Ki Gedeng Alang Alang was bestowed the title Kuwu Cirebon. A prince from Pajajaran, Prince Walangsung Sang, converted to Islam and was appointed as Adipati of Cirebon with the title Cakrabumi. He established the new kingdom of Cirebon and declared independence from Galuh. The establishment of the Cirebon Sultanate marked the first Islamic rule in western Java, which grew from the modest fishing village of Muarajati to a busy port on Java's northern coast. Cirebon grew as one of the independent sultanates under the leadership of Sunan Gunung Jati in the early 16th century. The kingdoms of Banten and Mataram fought over Cirebon, which declared its allegiance to Sultan Agung of Mataram, but the later Mataram king ceded the city to the Dutch in 1677. A treaty in 1705 saw Cirebon become a Dutch protectorate jointly administered by 3 sultans whose courts rivaled those of central Java. During the time of the Dutch culture system, a flourishing trade in colonial cash crops attracted many Chinese entrepreneurs, and the Chinese influence is still evident in the batik for which Cirebon is famous. Cirebon suffered a famine in 1844, apparently triggered by a combination of drought and the shift from subsistence agriculture to cash crops, particularly indigo and sugarcane. Demographics. The city's population was 298,224 at the Indonesia census of 2010. As with other coastal cities in Indonesia, a large population of ethnic Chinese has flocked into the city as a result of long-term Chinese immigration since the 17th century. Significant suburbs lie within densely populated Cirebon Regency, and the official metropolitan area encompasses this entire regency as well as the city, although surrounded by Sundanese-speaking areas in West Java. Linguists have stated clearly that Cirebon are Javanese language areas. In addition, this is supported by the Cirebon people referring to themselves as Wang Jawa and to the language as Basa Jawa. However, the Cirebon dialect is sufficiently different from the dominant South-Central Javanese dialect that it is sometimes assumed to be non-Javanese by outsiders. Campaign for Cirebon Province. Some of the local political elite in Cirebon and surrounding regencies have campaigned for Cirebon City, together with the regencies of Cirebon, Indramayu, Kunimgan and Majalengka, to be established as a new province, in the same way as Banten Province was formed by splitting it away from West Java. To be a new province, it is required that it should be proposed by at least 3 regencies. Leaders from 4 of these administrations have given their consent, but Majalengka Regency has turned down the idea and indicated that it would prefer to stay part of West Java. However, the lack of support from the Majalengka area does not preclude Cirebon City and the other 3 regencies from continuing to promote the idea. The potential size and population of this possible province would be as follows. Cityscape. Culture. Cirebon itself is known as Graj in the Cirebon dialect of Javanese language, which came from the words Negara Geda, meaning Great Kingdom. As a port city, Cirebon attracts visitors and settlers from elsewhere in Indonesia and from other nations as well. Cirebon culture was described as Java Pasisiran culture, similar to the cultures of Banten, Pekalongan and Semarang, with notable mixtures of Sundanese, Chinese, Arabic, Islamic, and European influences. Arts and crafts. Batik textiles from Cirebon, especially Cirebon batik with vivid colors with motifs and patterns that demonstrate Chinese and local influences, are well known. Chinese influences can be seen in Cirebon's culture, most notably the Cirebon batik Megamendung pattern that resembles Chinese cloud imagery. The Trusma area is the production center of Cirebon batik. Cirebon glass painting is another aspect of Cirebon arts and crafts. The imagery in glass painting is usually derived from wayang theme to Islamic calligraphy. Performing arts. The Tari Topeng Cirebon, or Cirebon mask dance, is a dance style peculiar to the city. Topeng Cirebon mask dance, inspired by Javanese Panji cycles, is one of notable Cirebon traditional dance and quite famous within Indonesian dancers. Cirebon culture is also influenced by Islamic Middle Eastern culture, such as the Burokan tradition where people exhibit the image of burak, traditionally made from bamboo frame and paper skin, or other materials, in processions around the village accompanied with music. The traditions of the bamboo statues born in these processions is similar to Sundanese Sisingan, Bituai Ondel-Ondel, or Balinese Ogo-Ogo processions, yet differ in their Islamic theme. Burokan are usually held during festive occasions such as circumcision or marriage, and are accompanied by popular Cirebon folk songs, such as Tarling. Tarling is a musical tradition reminiscent of Bandung's Kekapi suling music, with except that it features guitar, suling and voice. The name derived from guitar and suling. Sports. Cirebon is the hometown of the PSGJ Cirebon football team. The club plays in the Liga Nusantara. Another team, Cirebon Football Club, the team also plays in the Liga Nusantara, is based in the Bima Stadium, Cirebon. Cirebon. Other popular sports in Cirebon include futsal, court culture, the remnants of Cirebon Sultanate, Kasepuhan, Kanoman, Kaprabona, and Cirebon Kratins are now run as cultural institutions to preserve Cirebon culture. Each still hold their traditional ceremonies and have become the patrons of Cirebon arts. Some of the royal symbols of Cirebon Sultanate describe the legacy and influences. The banner of Cirebon Sultanate is called Makan Ali, with Arabic calligraphy arranged to resemble a panther or tiger. These indicate both Islamic influence and that of the Hindu Pajahara and Sundanese King Siliwangi's tiger banner. The royal lineage of Cirebon is still well respected and is held in high prestige among the people of Cirebon, although it does not hold real political power anymore. The royal carriage of Kasepuan Singabarong and Kanoman's Paksain Agaliman carriage resembles the chimera of three animals: eagle, elephant, and dragon. These symbolize Indian Hinduism, Arabic Islam, and Chinese influences. The images of Makan Ali, Singabarong, and Paksain Agaliman are also often featured as patterns in Cirebon Batik cuisine. As a coastal city, Cirebon's main industry is fishery. Its products include terasi, petis, krupu gudang, and various salted fish. Cirebon is famous for its good quality salted fishes, such as jumble roti, juhi, rebon, and ebi. These products are often sought by visitors, especially Indonesian domestic tourists and visitors from other cities, as ole-ole. Cirebon is also known for its local cuisines and delicacies, such as empal gentong, mie keklok, nasi lengko, nasi jambelang, tahu gejrot, tahu petis, tahu tek-tek, and ayam panggang. Another native food is dokang. Tourism is one tourist destination in West Java. Cirebon city offers many charms, ranging from a historical tour of the royal glory of Islam, the story of the trustees complex Sunan Gunung Jati in Mount Sembungabad 15 miles to the west of the city center, Great Mosque of Cirebon, Takwa Mosque, temple, ancient buildings and relics of Netherlands. Cirebon is a palace at the same time in the city, namely Keraton, Kasepuhan, and Kanoman. Everything has architecture, a combination of elements: culture, Islam, China, and Netherlands. Characteristic of the palace buildings are always facing northern, and there is a mosque nearby. Each palace has square as a gathering place, market, and sculpture tiger in park. A page forward as a symbol of King Siliwangi, the central character formation Sultanate of Cirebon. Another feature is the plate porcelain original china as a trimmer wall. Some dishes supposedly derived from Europe when Cirebon's a port trade center island, Java. Cirebon City Park has some of them: Water Park Sunyaraja and Park Avadi Irma Suryani. Water Park Sunyaraja have technology flow water advanced in his time. The water flow between the terraces where the Princess King preening, page grass green where the night practice, plus tower and room privileged. The door was made of curtain water. Administration. Cirebon is divided into 5 districts: Harjamukti, Kejaksan, Kesambi, Lemawungkuk, Paklipan. Economy. Cirebon city economy is influenced by its strategic geographical location and by the characteristics of natural resources. Thus, the structure of its economy is dominated by manufacturing, trade, hotels and restaurants, transport and communications, and service sectors. Tome Perez in the Summa Oriental around the year 1513 mentioned Cirebon was one of the trade centers on the island of Java. After Cirebon was taken over by the Dutch East Indies government in 1859, it was designated as a transit port for import-export goods and as a communications route to the political control center for the region in the interior of Java. Until 2001, the economic contribution to the city of Cirebon was characterized by processing industry, followed by trade, hotels and restaurants, transport and communications sector, and services sector. Other sectors included mining, agriculture, construction, electricity, and gas. Port of Cirebon. The port of Cirebon was established by the Dutch in 1865, principally as an export point for spices, sugarcane and raw materials from West Java. Warehouses and open storage areas were developed by 1890, and a British-American tobacco cigarette factory was built in the early 20th century. Port activity is dominated by bulk imports of coal, liquid asphalt and vegetable oils for the West Java hinterland. Until 2002, the port also catered for minor container trade and cruise shipping. In 2006, the port handled 3.27 million metric tons of trade, more than 90% as imports from others Indonesian ports. Public service. Nearly 93% of the population has been underserved by service water from PDAM Cirebon. The majority of customers in the city's water supply to households of the total number of existing connections. Hell, since the Dutch East Indies government, Cirebon city has had a hospital named Orange, which unveiled its use on August 31, 1921 and commenced operations from September 1, 1921. In 2009, in the city of Cirebon has been available about 6 general hospitals, 4 maternity hospitals, 21 health centers, 15 health centers May, 20 mobile health center, and 81 pharmacies and drugstores 31. With the number of medical personnel such as specialist doctors about 94 people, and 116 general practitioners, 37 dentists, 847 nurses and 278 midwives. Notable people. See more at category People from Cirebon. Twin towns, sister cities. Cirebon has sister relationships with a number of towns worldwide: Seoul, South Korea; Suwon, South Korea; Jeonju, South Korea; Hwaseong, South Korea; Busan, South Korea; Moscow, Russia; Brisbane, Australia; Melbourne, Australia; Bandung, Indonesia; Palembang, Indonesia; Dublin, Republic of Ireland; Pekanbaru, Indonesia; Gold Coast, Australia. Orientation and places. The main boulevard is Jalan Siliwangi. It runs from the train station to the canal via the Pasar Pagi. Then the street becomes Jalan Karangjatas, along which are most of Cirebon's banks, restaurants, and hotels. There are a number of historic buildings and other key sites in Cirebon, some of them in an advanced state of decay. These include the buildings of the several kratons, the Sang Cipta Rasa Grand Mosque, and the Gua Suniraja Park. Wali Songgard, especially Sunan Gunung Jati, is known to have influenced the city's history. Sunan Gunung Jati's grave is located several kilometers outside the city in the Gunung Jati district. There are 2 temples and a cave system built by 2 Chinese architects around the 1880s, decorated by Chinese and Western porcelain. The village of Trusma, about 5 kilometers outside of Cirebon, has been noted for batik production. Plangan is a habitat of monkeys. Mount Sereme, the highest peak in West Java, is a large volcano situated about 40 kilometers to the south of Cirebon. Parks and other tourist spots on the slopes of Mount Sereme are popular places for groups from Cirebon to visit during weekends to escape from the hotter climate on the coast. The village of Linggarjati, near the town of Cirebon, is one such place. Public transportation brings tourists and visitors here. Gallery.